Hi, I'm John. This is my show, An American Scheme, where I'm proving that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. On this episode, I'm going to show my top 5 reasons why I believe that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. So, on this one, number 5 will be this here. This is Diana Ross on the Arsenio Hall show. And let me just go ahead and play this clip for you.
Smokey Robinson was my first love. I really loved him. You know, I have stories. People think my life or my career started with Motown, but really it started with Smokey. Smokey lived on Belmont. We lived on the same street. I was very close with his cousin, Sharon Burston. And I used to sleep over. You know how kids have sleepovers at Sharon's house. And I used to listen to the Miracles sing in the basement. And that was before I came to Motown. That was before the Supremes. And to me, I loved him.
Okay, so right here, you have Diana Ross confirming that she's in love with Smokey Robinson and sleeping in the same house that Smokey was sleeping in at the time that Michael Jackson is conceived. Okay, this is a big deal. And why is she talking about this as an adult woman when she refers back to a first love as Smokey? She goes all the way back to the exact time when I'm saying that this is when it's obvious a fact that when Michael was conceived, but when you look at the time of when Michael was conceived to what she's doing with Smokey Robinson, she's in love with him. And not only she's in love with him, they live on the same street. She's best friends with Smokey's cousin. She's staying in the house where Smokey's practicing in the basement. You know, it's all right there. Okay, so number 4 on my top reasons why I believe that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. That I believe that I've made the discovery that Diana Ross is Billie Jean. So watch this part.
Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday is my name.
Okay, Billie.
Okay, Billie. You know, and so in this part here too. See, this movie, this is Diana Ross's first movie. Lady sings the blues, and in the movie she's calling herself Billie, which I'm saying that it basically around that same time right there, that's when she would have notified Michael that she was his mother. This movie, I believe, came out in 1972. So there's a good chance that I looked for the premiere stuff, but I couldn't find anything. But I wouldn't doubt that Michael might have even attended the premiere of this film with her. You know, things like that. And that's why he's calling her Billie. He knows her. The first movie that he saw her in, she's calling herself Billie. And that's why Michael is referring to Billie Jean, the Diana, who is actually Diana Ross, the word Billie. That's where the Billie comes from. Okay, so now we go to, this would be number 3 on my top reasons why Diana Ross, I believe that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. So this will be Michael Jackson's memorial. And now you're going to hear here in the beginning that the CNN guys are talking, and then they cut into Smokey's starts a speech, because what actually happened was this was the very, very, very first thing that happened. They're sitting around, there's the audience, the CNN is talking, but at the memorial, when people are not actually aware of the details, this happened before Michael's casket was brought out. This was actually before. This was the very, very, very first thing. And you can tell it's the first thing because CNN has to cut in here as Smokey, and what Smokey's doing is reading the letter from Diana Ross. So let me let you hear just the beginning of this.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
Let's go inside. Let me just interrupt. Let's go to the stage inside the Staples Center. Smokey Robinson.
I want you to know that even though I am not there at the Staples Center, I am there in my heart. I've decided to pause and be silent.
Pause and be silent. So he's right there. Like I said, now this is the letter from Diana Ross because she didn't go to the memorial. So how is it possible that Diana Ross, with all of the history of Michael Jackson and everything that's going on, how is it possible that she doesn't attend the memorial? It's not possible. Things like this are not possible, that she's not sitting there with everybody else. And the very, very first thing that's read before the casket's even brought out, this was there was a separation. This was the first thing that happened. The very first thing, because you could see on the CNN, they had to cut in because all of a sudden he just started reading this letter from Diana Ross. And she says the reason she didn't go is because she had to pause and be silent. The words there, the key words, right off, that she has to remain silent. She's telling you that there's something going on that she feels she might spill the beans about, that she might feel an urge to speak about something at this place. But because of what I'm saying, that she's the mother, she can't spill the beans about that, so she didn't go. What else could have stopped that woman from going to this memorial? So next, number 2 on my top 5 list of reasons I believe Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's mother. This is an interview with Evan Ross, and you're going to see here that they're trying to say, well, what's the deal about Michael and Diana? This guy's asking, what is it, right? So now listen to this with Evan.
I think so. I think it was a lot of things. I think he did. I know he loved her, and I think he also maybe was in some sort of way. My mom always says no, it wasn't, but I feel like he was. There was so much about my mother he loved.
So, right there, Evan is admitting that when he sees him with Michael. And Michael always says how much he loved Diana. He's always saying how much he loved when he's talking to Evan. He says how much it was clear, really, really clear that there was this major love between Michael and Diana. But so then Evan, you can tell he says that he had asked his mother, what's going on? Is there a sexual relation there? And Evan there, when he says no, my mother always says no. She always says no, really quick, no, there's no even hesitation about it. My mother always says no. So right there, Evan's confirming to you that the relationship between Michael and Diana is a massive love relationship, but it's not sexually in nature. There's no sexual nature in that relationship. So what is actually going on that explains that relationship? It's my story, which the number one reason why I believe Michael Jackson is Diana Ross's son, why Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother, this would be in Michael Jackson's Moonwalk book. So when you want to talk about, let's talk about the actual words of Michael Jackson. And now, the parts here that I want to read is up here at the top. Here, let me show like here, up here. So here it says, we finally moved to Southern California. We actually lived with Diana and stayed with her for more than a year. Okay, so when they moved to California, the Jacksons actually were, when they needed a house to stay in, when they weren't working, they were living in Diana Ross's house. Okay, so, and then during that period, it says here, we'd go out almost every day, just the two of us, and buy pencils and paint. When we weren't drawing or painting, we'd go to museums. She introduced me to the works of the great artists like Michelangelo and Degas. And that was the start of my lifelong interest in art. So Michael's telling you that when they moved to California and they were living with Diana Ross, not only were they living with her, Diana Ross was specifically showing a special attention to Michael, taking him out and teaching him about the ways of the world and teaching him about art and getting him into paintings and drawing. And she was building a relationship with him. Okay, so how does this happen? You're going to tell me that Joe Jackson is going to allow Diana Ross to single Michael out, to completely single Michael out, and they're going to go out on their own constantly? Not even Joe Jackson, that Catherine Jackson would allow that. I can imagine, okay, if it happened once or twice, okay? But as Michael Jackson is clearly telling you, as he says, we'd go out almost every day, just the two of us. How is that possible? Why did it happen? Why would Diana have that kind of interest where she would be taking her time to say, I want to single you, Michael Jackson, out, and I'm going to show you the ways of the world? And why would Catherine and a Joe allow that to happen? There's only one actual reason, because you people can come up with all kinds of reasons. Oh, well, this and that. None of those make any sense, and none of it has any basis in logic, because there's no way that Catherine and Joe would allow Diana to single Michael out from the rest of the family and take him out and start nurturing him and guiding him in ways that now Catherine and Joe are not going to have control of. The only reason Diana was allowed to do that because she's actually Michael's mother. The reason why she wanted to do that because now she's getting back into Michael's life. She's wanting to spend time with him, welcomes him into her home, the whole family, so she could then spend that time with Michael that she had lost all these years. She wants to get back to her child and let Michael know that she did not want to give him away, that it was just a thing that happened, the circumstances because of the development of Motown happening that came with his birth right around the same time. It was just a thing that had to happen. Michael Jackson was given to the Jacksons from his real parents, Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson. It happened because Berry Gordy insisted that they get rid of the child so that they could properly develop Motown. They gave Michael to the Jackson family because Berry Gordy and Joe Jackson are old friends starting from back in their days in the Golden Glove boxing days, and then it continued through their music career back in the 50s. They were friends. That's how Michael got put there. That's why then Joe Jackson trusts Michael Jackson at the extreme young age of 5 years old. 5 years old, Joe Jackson then puts all of his trust into that kid. Why does he trust that kid? Because that's the kid that was given to him from Berry Gordy. He knows that this is his direct connection back to Berry Gordy, the only chance for his family to have any chance of making it and having any kind of stardom. That's what they did. This is what happened. When are you people going to start caring about who Michael Jackson was? Because right now, you don't.